Sometimes the person we least expect to fall apart is ourselves. Have you ever had a moment where you thought you had it all together, and then out of nowhere, everything crumbled? Maybe it was a breakup, a diagnosis, a death, or just waking up and realizing you're not where you thought you'd be. That's exactly what happened to Lori Gottlieb, a therapist who suddenly found herself on the other side of the couch seeking help from a therapist of her own. In this deeply human story, she shows us that therapy isn't just for the broken, it's for anyone willing to look inward and confront the truth of what it means to live, love, and lose. Lori Gottlieb isn't just a therapist. She's also a best-selling author and a former television writer, which explains why this book reads like a gripping drama wrapped in profound emotional truth. Written during a time when she was navigating heartbreak, raising a child, and trying to be the calm presence for her own patients, this book reveals the raw, vulnerable, and surprisingly funny side of therapy. It's not just a memoir, and it's not just a behind-the-scenes look at what therapists really think. It's an invitation to reflect on what makes us human and why sometimes the hardest person to help is yourself. At its core, maybe you should talk to someone is about this one powerful idea. We are not the stories we tell ourselves, but we are the meaning we make from them. Through honest self-inquiry, therapy becomes less about fixing problems and more about finding courage to face them. One of the most striking lessons from the book comes from Lori's own journey into therapy after her sudden breakup. Her boyfriend, who she thought was the one, ended things with the shocking reason he didn't want to spend years raising someone else's child. She was devastated, and despite being a therapist herself, she couldn't logic her way out of heartbreak. She sought out Wendell, an unconventional therapist who slowly, sometimes maddeningly, helped her peel back the layers of her pain. What she discovered wasn't just grief over the breakup. It was a fear of abandonment, a craving for certainty, and the need to be seen. This isn't just Lori's story. It's our story too. We all carry invisible wounds we can't think our way out of. Sometimes healing requires sitting in the discomfort rather than escaping it. Another powerful theme in the book is what Lori calls the presenting problem. When clients come to therapy, they usually name a reason: depression, anxiety, relationship issues, but often that's just the tip of the iceberg. One of Lori's most memorable clients is John, a successful TV producer who initially seems arrogant, abrasive, and emotionally closed off. He's angry about everyone else in his life, but not himself. Over time, through painful and revealing sessions, it becomes clear that John is grieving the loss of his young son, something he hasn't fully acknowledged or processed. His rage was just a cover. Lori shows us that people's pain often comes out sideways. When we stop judging the symptom and start asking what it's protecting, we find the real wound. That's where healing starts, not by fixing people, but by understanding them. Then there's Julie, a newlywed with terminal cancer. Julie's story is a gut punch. She's young, full of life, and knows she's dying. But what stands out most isn't the tragedy of her situation. It's her courage to face it head on. She wants to make peace with her limited time and help her loved ones do the same. Through their sessions, Lori helps her write letters to her unborn children, guides her through saying goodbye, and sits with her in moments when there's absolutely nothing to say. Julie's story reminds us that therapy isn't about finding the right words. It's about being present, even when words fail. And for the rest of us still living, her journey is a lesson in appreciating time, love, and what we leave behind. A surprising and often funny insight in the book comes from how therapists struggle with the same issues as everyone else. Lori doesn't hide her insecurities. She gets jealous, she obsesses over texts, she cries at night, she stalks her ex's new girlfriend online. She also worries about her patients, about saying the wrong thing, or about whether she's doing enough. It's easy to assume that therapists have it all figured out, but Lori shows us that they are just as human as their clients. In one moment, she reflects on how her son's Lego tower breaking triggered a deeper panic, not about the toy, but about her inability to keep everything in her life from falling apart. These kinds of moments make the book so relatable. We all want control, we all want answers, but most of the time, we're all just winging it. Lastly, the book dives deep into the idea that change is possible, but often not in the way we imagine. Therapy isn't a quick fix. It's not about becoming someone different. It's about becoming more fully yourself. That's what Lori discovers. And that's what her patients, from the suicidal young woman to the aging woman questioning her past, come to understand. Growth doesn't come from avoiding pain. It comes from feeling it. Lori shows us that transformation isn't dramatic. It's subtle. It's the way we start responding differently. It's the moment we catch ourselves before repeating the same destructive habit. It's the choice to reach out instead of isolate. Over time, these small shifts add up. That's the quiet power of therapy. And it's also the quiet power of being human. Looking back at Lori's journey and those of her clients, we're reminded that vulnerability is the bridge between suffering and connection. Whether you're sitting in the therapist chair or lying on the couch, the work is the same. Learning to tell the truth, even when it's painful, and finding someone who can witness that truth without turning away. This book isn't about answers. It's about asking better questions. Why do we repeat patterns that hurt us? What are we really afraid of? And what would happen if we allowed ourselves to be truly seen? So if you've ever thought about going to therapy, or if you're just trying to understand yourself or someone you love a little better, this book is a must read. Maybe You Should Talk to Someone is both a mirror and a window. A mirror that reflects our hidden struggles, and a window into the healing that's possible when we open up. If you connected with anything in this summary, consider reading the full book. It's filled with warmth, humor, heartbreak, and hope. And if you're curious about how therapy really works or why it sometimes doesn't, this book offers a rare and intimate look inside. And hey, maybe you should talk to someone too.